Okay, do we want to start? Do you want to pref?
Whatever you want to do.
Pref?
Pref.
Pref?
Pref.
Pref.
Prep.
The new word of the day, pref. Not really sure what it means. Usually it's short for preference, but I mean, Joe sometimes just makes up his own fucking shit.
Joe has no preference.
Nope.
What are you
no
talking
preference
about?
at all.
I got plenty of preference.
Sure you do.
Horses
Hold on, let me show you.
and heels.
Horses and heels? That would make Clippity Clop so much better. God, I could lean in and do that. This is the only camera I can't do that with. It doesn't have its own screen. It probably saves battery. Yeah, you look good. Your tongue looks great too. Also. Do an actual journey intro now. We didn't actually do an intro before.
We did.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, I don't want to have to say.
unpopular
I don't want
demand.
to say the name every time. I'm getting a little like, I don't want to do that. They
don't-
know what they're tuning
He wants
into.
to change the name of the show and everything.
No,
now.
I don't. No, I
Wow,
don't.
you actually don't want to change something?
No, I don't want to change the name.
Wow.
I want to change my co-host, sitting to my right.
No, he just wanted a third logo, and we didn't even use the second one.
Right, exactly.
He wants to change the theme
Oh,
song.
it's 3 years old.
Hold on.
They haven't seen 3 years of content.
Hold on.
It's not my fault.
On this episode of The Journey with Dark Odyssey,
No,
we
I got a
have-
good intro. I got a good intro.
All right, are we going to go?
Sure.
And begin.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join in on the journey with Jofu, Chris, and me, Joe Rice. Today, we are speaking about God.
Oh, no.
For a minute there, I thought you were trying to introduce us as a throuple.
That's later on. Stay tuned.
You're
Gotta watch
love
to
it,
the end. Wait for it.
but you're going to love it.
You're gonna love it. So, God.
Are we having a guest? I didn't know.
Today's special guest, God. He's sitting right next to you, Joe. Interview him.
Okay. So, what do you think about this podcast? You guys suck.
So what do we know about God? You guys want to jump in? What do you want to...
What do we know about God? I mean,
Yes.
it depends. Are we
Hold
talking,
on.
Which God are we talking about?
Well,
There's so many
that's a
different
good-
gods out
You're
there.
religious.
That's a good point.
You're not religious. You're religious. You're not religious. What are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm spiritual.
You're spiritual. So
Yes,
do you
same
believe
here.
in God?
I believe that there are multiple.
Multiple gods. Do you worship a god?
I worship 3.
He worships Moloch.
This is why I wanted to start like this.
Moloch.
3!
I only know the one
We
God.
prayed the giant owl out back. Saying.
I was taught when I was growing up, there was one God and we all worship him and he's the all-knowing and all-creator.
Well, that's what your religion says.
correct.
Yeah.
But that's why I went to that right away because that's so atypical
No, that's
of
great.
what
Ask
everybody
me now.
else. Why do I want to ask you?
Why not?
Because he went first. You're
Let's
next.
go. Yes.
You're going to take 30 minutes and he'll take 5. That's why I
Oh.
went to him.
Well, I got lots to say.
I know.
Where are we
I
going
speak
with this?
lots.
What are we
Hold
talking
on.
about?
What
I'm
three-
so confused
What
now.
3 gods is it that you believe in?
I believe in
He
the
said 3?
I said 3.
You don't pay
Oh.
attention.
Cool.
Me,
I heard
you,
many.
and him.
I
Yeah,
heard
3.
many.
We're all journey gods.
Right.
It's great. So which 3?
Freya,
Okay.
Scotty,
Scotty Bopati?
not,
Yeah.
no, bad. Bad, Joe. I'm going to slap your hand.
And
And Seth.
Well, I know Freya, we have Friday, named after her.
okay.
Seth, well, that's an Egyptian god. And Scotty Bopati? Scotty don't! Scotty don't!
2 out of 3 of those
Zip
sound
it,
Jewish. I don't know.
Zip. I don't know who
Freya
Scotty
and
is.
Scotty are both from
Norse.
Nordic culture.
Okay.
Scotty is a frost giant, technically.
Go.
From Scotland?
No.
Scottish?
No.
Scotty.
And
No.
Yes,
It's from
Seth-
the other realm.
Seth is, the Egyptian god, as Joe has said.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't worship these gods, so that's why I'm asking.
Scotty and Freya, they're from Midgard.
Okay.
No, we're from Midgard.
Oh, we're from Midgard. Yes. Yes. I was close. I was close.
You're close. I'm way back there.
close.
I'm in the caboose right now.
Yeah,
just
but
on
there are
ride.
the other. There's 9 realms.
Okay.
We are Midgard. We are the realm of Midgard.
Okay.
I've seen Thor.
Yeah.
Yes. If you watch Thor, you could learn a little bit.
If only
It's
Thor
a,
would hit him
it's a
over the
starting
head
point.
with the
Well,
hammer.
yeah, it's a starting point,
It's a
but I
starting
mean
point.
the history of
no, I know.
Marvel's version
Just
of the
joking
Nordic
about that.
culture and actual Nordic culture
Oh, no,
are
of
relatively
course.
different from each other.
Where do you think people are going to get ideas of God and stuff from movies and stuff? A lot of people see this stuff and they're not educated.
Correct.
We think a lot of people are educated, but they're not really. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not going to claim that I'm very
I don't think
educated on religion.
I don't think they've ever mentioned Scotty or Freya.
All right,
Maybe
so now-
Freya.
I don't think that they mentioned Freya in Marvel. They definitely mentioned Frigg.
He's a frig.
He is a Frigg.
Frigg used both.
Yeah. So
Frigg used both. What God do I?
you said, yeah.
I believe that God is the universe.
Okay.
I don't worship a specific God by name.
So God is the universe, not
I'm
the
spiritual in
creator
the
of.
way where I believe there's a higher power, but as humans, your brain can't wrap yourself around what it is. I believe we know nothing about religion, and most religions are fables that were told over thousands of years. They evolve into, certain types of religious beliefs. The universe. If you go by I was born Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
If you go by the Catholic religion, God is everywhere. God is everything. God hears all. God sees all.
Right.
When you pray, you look up. Heaven is above you. Mm-hmm. Well, if you replace the word God or heaven with the universe, it's the same basic thing. Because everything's made out of what's in the universe. Now, we are stardust. Mm-hmm. Basically, star children. Mm. If you want to put it that way. I don't think I like that word, but that's for lack of a better term. Everything in our sun that gives us life is also in us.
Right.
It's in the table, the book.
Well, you're taking it down to the atomic
recorders.
level now. We're all made of
No.
molecules.
No. Your sun produces every element that we pretty much know. When it produces the heavy elements like lead and uranium, lead and all the metals, it's about to die.
Okay.
So it goes through a process. It's born, produces light elements. I'm pretty sure. Listen, I don't have a degree in any of this, but I'm pretty sure it starts off producing lighter elements, and as it ages, it starts to produce heavier. And when it gets to certain heavy elements, it's about to die because the elements get so heavy within it. And
So now you brought up a good point. A lot of people worship the sun as God.
Yeah,
Correct.
So that's not how you believe. The universe as an entire.
But why not? Why wouldn't you? See, here's the thing. Worship. What does worship mean? I have reverence for the sun. I have reverence for the sky, nature. Doesn't mean I don't worship Mother Nature, but a beautiful, mountainside, a beautiful sunset. I revere these things. These are beautiful things that we are witnessing in our lives every day. And when you look up at night, when you're out of the cities, you can actually see the Milky Way if you're far enough from light pollution.
Yes.
You revere that. Is that worship? Why not? It's kind of close. To revere is to worship almost. So now, do I pray to it? No, but I feel a connection to it. So why wouldn't pretty much worship is pretty close to that, but I don't say, dear mountain, dear, pray for me, sunset, beautiful sunset. I don't do that. But if I want to, I communicate. It's, hey God, hey universe, whatever you call yourself, please help me out. I'm looking to manifest this. I'm trying to create this. I need, guidance. I need spiritual, help.
So there's the higher power you believe in.
Yeah.
You're just not saying
I'm not a church person.
One person that is responsible for everything we see
Well,
and
see,
do.
I have a problem with,
Everything?
pretty much. Pretty much.
But with that theory is what you're saying.
So I'm a person that doesn't really believe in the status quo. So we have the Bible.
Yeah.
We have the Quran. We have the Old Testament, which is, there's another name for the Old Testament.
The Torah?
The Torah. So we have these books, and everybody attributes the Word of God. But they were written by man.
transcribed by man. Some say that it was.
Yeah, but here's the
them.
problem. Man, especially men in power, have the ability to dictate what gets put in those books and what gets left out, what gets put
Well,
in.
that's just like in the transition from the original Bible that was written to the current Bible, which is the King James Bible.
Yeah.
Whereas King James rewrote the Bible in his own vision of what
Christianity should be.
Christianity or Catholicism should
Yeah,
be.
you know, there's a Gospel of Judas. There's a Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Nobody knows this really because they found them in the Dead Sea Scrolls in a cave in Israel.
There's the books of Enoch.
Yeah, bro. There's so much that they don't want you to know because the people that wrote them, even the monks that wrote the King James, and even before that, anybody with a consolidation of power wants you to behave a certain way. So if you fear God,
Right.
I'm giving you the word of God. Fear it.
That's also
fear it.
part of control.
Keep
though.
you in line. Yes,
Right.
exactly what I'm saying.
Right. Keeping society
Exactly.
in a nice little bubble so
Yeah.
it can exist and not destroy itself.
Yeah. So, and I'm not really big on God was everywhere 2,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, burning bushes, speaking to Abraham, speaking to Moses. Not really, I don't really believe those stories. Was Jesus real? Okay, so we have a smidgen of proof that there may have been a man named Jesus. Smidgen, because it's not much.
There
When-
probably
what
was a
he-
man named Jesus. Did he do all the things
Well,
that they said
Jesus
he
was
did?
a very popular name back in the first century.
Right, the Jesus, right.
No, just Jesus.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the one that we...
Jesus.
Right. Yeah. Who
So
fixed
anyway-
your car down the block?
Yeah. Was he the Son of God? Well, the first time they mentions the word Messiah, I think, listen, I'm not really 100% sure on this, so we should check it. You have a keyboard in front of you. You should check it
What are
out.
we checking here?
I believe it was Peter that said to Jesus, "You are the way, you are the light. We will follow you. You are the Messiah." I believe, and that's somewhere wrapped around the Last Supper. So it wasn't to almost his death that they actually, first time ever, say he's the Messiah. Believe that's pretty accurate.
So it's like me coming into this table and saying, Joe, you're my Messiah. And then you start believing that you're this big higher power
Well-
because I told you it. Is that what you're getting at?
No,
Is that Peter put it in his head?
I'm getting at that. Jesus never really called himself the Messiah. I
I thought he
believe.
did. Pretty sure he did come out and say that.
don't
to
know
Peter.
about that.
So the first biblical prophecy and whisper of the word Messiah is uttered in Genesis 3:15. After Adam and Eve chose to follow the voice of the deceiver.
Which is Old Testament, no?
What about what apostle mentions the first apostle to mention the word Messiah? That's probably what you want to look for. For 200-300 years later, Christianity just is not really around. It starts to pick up a little steam with Constantine, I think, and his mother, and which is 300 A.D., where the Romans accept,
All right.
Jesus.
All right. I found what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And this is from John 1:40 to 42.
Uh-huh.
Andrew, the brother of Simon, Peter, was one of the two who heard John and followed Jesus. He first found his own brother Simon and told him, "We have found the Messiah." So, Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, is the first person to call Jesus
So somebody other than Jesus.
the Messiah. Someone other than his own apostles.
Yeah, I was just watching something. I was doing some research on the subject. Like I said, I don't know a ton about it.
Andrew is called the proto-kletos, or first called.
And did they say when that is?
No, it's just, it's not actual recorded history other than in the Bible itself.
Yeah. And that's a major issue too.
From folklore to paper, who the hell knows? We weren't there.
Yeah. Now the Bible does have some historical references that are accurate that we know of, because other cultures and other religions wrote of these events that happen when the Bible says they happen. Certain things. But it's it's parables. A lot of it's parables, which are stories and fairy tales.
I mean, parables, fairy tales, you also go back and you look at other religions in general. Every religion has their own, mythos.
Morality stories and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But we can't even specifically say that there was a real man named Jesus who went around performing miracles, and he did we know some of those cities exist that they write about where Jesus performed miracles, right around the Sea of Galilee and stuff like that. And when you look in depth to these cities, we're finding the foundations, the buildings that used to be there and stuff like
but
that.
we're not really
But we're
finding
not
any
finding
writings.
Jesus.
Right, but we're also not finding any other writings outside of the Bible, and
Yeah.
specifically, Christian.
It would be
We're not finding anything outside of Christian writings
yeah.
that talk about.
What, to discredit
Jesus.
that?
No, that
Or to-
no.
Either
That's even
way.
credited.
Either way.
There's
Okay.
there's
Either way.
nothing outside of Christian writing.
Yeah.
So nobody else was keeping record at that time?
There were many other cultures that were keeping record.
Nobody else
Well,
was talking
basically,
about what's happening on the side over
the
here?
area was Jewish, but Roman ruled. So you would look for the Roman account of it. I don't know how accurate that would have been, but the Romans seem to be like good record keepers. We have a lot of their history. We have a lot of specific, archaeological proof that the Romans were there. This is what they wore. This is what they, how they trained each other, and this is what they did when they moved into towns to, turn the town from what it was to Roman. When Romans let the people adapt too. You still believe your religion,
Right.
but you got to follow all rules.
The Romans, in their texts,
Yeah.
describe a man whose name was Jesus, who they deemed as a troublemaker. That's pretty much all.
Yeah.
He was a troublemaker. He made a lot of trouble for everyone.
Well, supposedly in the stories,
Are you no?
No.
He is not the second coming.
No. He's a troublemaker.
He is definitely a troublemaker.
come my children, follow me
He's
to the
like,
way.
could you imagine we find out he is the Way descendant?
Could you imagine we find out he is the second coming?
You better be. I want
Wait,
my milk.
I didn't come
You
first.
want your what?
I didn't
I
come.
want my milk.
I didn't come first today. Before the second. But see, this whole religious thing, it's written by people that of course, no longer here, so you can't hold anybody accountable. And the stories changed, and some of the languages, even further back, besides Christianity, some of the languages aren't around anymore. So to properly read the stories and stuff, it's hard to keep track of.
What
They
about
change.
this language?
Me.
I can't stop looking at that.
It's not even just that the languages aren't around anymore, but the concept
Sumerian
that
and all that.
right, but the concept that a lot of languages they'll use even modern day languages they'll use the same word for so many different things.
Yeah, I don't know. What about Latin? Latin's kind of weird.
Listen, I don't speak Latin.
Right,
I
neither
don't
do
either.
I. So how do you say it's weird?
I mean,
'Cause you don't
Jofu speaks
understand?
pig
Well,
Latin.
because if you ever looked into some of it, I mean, basically all supposedly. Listen, and I don't know nothing, so please
Ice
understand that. All the languages come from the main French, German, English, Spanish. All come from Latin or some sort of derivative from.
So everything is like a
Latin.
tree. It starts at one point and branches out.
There's Latin, Phoenician,
And how many gods are out there that are being worshipped right now? Throughout the entire...
Thousands.
Right.
Thousands.
thousands.
Right.
Well, there are thousands just in India.
And never mind the cults that worship a person, somebody, and
Thousands of gods in India?
There are thousands
Oh,
of gods
yeah.
in India.
Yeah,
Wow.
There is a god for
everything.
Everything.
yeah.
My God.
There's a
There's
god for
the
cows,
goat.
a god for goat. When you get a bloody nose, there's a god for your bloody nose.
Really? There's a god for everything.
Everything.
Let's call that God in right now. Whack. But yeah, so what is God? God is your interpretation of a supreme being or some type of power in the universe. And if you really want to get into deep dive, so here's our reflections on God. Let's use the Catholic God for now because we're closely associated with that lifestyle. We understand it better. So here's God, all-powerful being, made us in his own image.
Okay.
I don't look like, a Middle Eastern guy with a beard, but supposedly we're in that image. So now, it's an all-powerful being, supreme being, can do anything.
Yeah.
Makes this special planet with these fucking crazy people on it. That, if you said that the planet revolves around the sun, they used to put you to death. You know that, right? If you were really influential, they would just lock you up for the rest of your life. But for most people, they got put to death because they said, no, our planet revolves around a sun instead of everything revolving around the planet, because that's what religion told them.
Right.
This is the way it is. So religion was just a way to keep people in line, man, But wrap your head around the fact, okay, so there's this special planet that this supreme being creates us in his own image and grows us and cares for us, and, it just doesn't make a lot of sense when you realize that, okay, so if you take this planet right here, this little circle, here's the Earth, when we look at the rest of the universe, we only see about this much of it. We could see the same distance in every direction.
We see less than 1%.
Yeah, and it's a circle around, because the planet's a circle, and we can look this way and see up to here, and then we look this way, look here.
Planet's a sphere.
Yeah, close enough. Come on. We know this, Chris. So we can only see around it like this much of the entire universe. But we know that there are millions and billions and maybe even trillions of other galaxies. Just in our galaxy, we know there's trillions of suns and trillions of planets. So if there's trillions of galaxies outside our galaxy, you start doing the math, there are so many capabilities of other life being out there.
Right.
Well, to some people, they're like, yeah, okay, so God created that life too.
Right.
Whatever. You want to just dumb it down to that? Yeah, you can say that, sure.
Well, this is
but
why
we have no idea what's out there.
Right.
So if you take your mind out of this little area of okay, this is God created us in his own image, this is the Bible, this is what we follow, this is what we believe. And morality is a good thing, to be moral and kind to each other. I'm all for that. But when you take your mind and wrap it around that there's all these other billions of galaxies and billions and trillions and whatever numbers come after us, planets with suns, you start to lose focus that there's this one power that created us and this special planet. No, there's more. Wrap your mind around something, you can't, because your human mind's been conditioned to believe that this God made you in this image and this special planet. There's so much more that we can't even fathom. And if there is a God, that's one of the things we cannot fathom. We cannot understand what it is. We are not made in its image, blah, blah, blah. That's the dumbest thing ever told to keep people in line. Stop with the nonsense. There is possibly something out there, but you cannot even imagine what it is.
So do you believe in the Big Bang Theory?
Yes, but they're even saying today that there was something before that. That there's a possibility that there's a Big Bang. Something had to cause the Big Bang.
The concept is that
There may be multiple bangs.
you cannot just create something from nothing.
Nothing.
That is what science sees.
And that's what the
So
Big
if
Bang says.
Right.
If there was a Big Bang, there had to have been something that caused that bang.
Yeah.
Which,
Well-
if you look at the way that our universe currently is, we are expanding
Right.
at an exponential rate.
Correct. So in other words, it could have been that there was an existence before that had reached its expandability and then contracted into this huge bang. And then we had to take a start point because we don't know what happened before that.
Yeah,
This
see,
is
they
what we
could-
say is the beginning of time.
They could
And then
backtrack the
it
entire
went again.
universe to this one point.
Right. Well,
The
theory.
one
Remember?
single
They said-
singularity.
Yes.
We don't even know that actually happened. We know it as a theory.
There's
a lot of
because they can
evidence.
take the pattern
Yeah.
of everything moving out and move it back. So this is kind of what they know, and it starts at a
Yeah,
single
and every
point.
time we think we know something, something
Yeah.
comes out and says, "Oh no,
Well,
we
actually-
discovered that it's actually this."
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
But the point is that to create everything out of nothing is a little weird, man. You know? And if you want to throw God into that equation, okay, so if God can do that, sure. All-powerful being, sure. Why have the powerful dancing ghost in the sky? I mean, if there's something that created all of this, you don't even understand an iota of what's going on in this universe. I'm not poo-pooing anybody's religion. You know, I'm just giving you my understanding of what I think, if there is a God, or what my views on religion, the Big Bang, and all that. Everybody has the right to believe what you do. Mm-hmm. You know I'm a fair guy. Whatever, you know.
Right.
I deal with everybody else's stuff, and I'm sympathetic. I'm happy. I'm hopeful. I'm all those things. I just don't believe what we were told is what it is. And if you look at anybody in power and you take our government, you know, if you believe our government's on your side and there to help you, well, you got some serious freaking issues because you haven't done research into all the times that they, you know, killed people. Well, don't worry, take this shot, you'll be fine. Oh, why do these people all of a sudden have syphilis? Well, the government gave it to them and lied and said, no, this is the vaccine. This is a few decades earlier. But the fact is the government was never on our side. The government's on its own side. And anybody in power to be able to write the book of God. This is the word of God, I'm telling you. This is the word of God. It's just manipulation. That's all it is.
So is it the human need to believe in something?
Well, here's the thing. Humans would need to invent a God. So your life had purpose. So that we wouldn't run around and kill each other and beat each other.
I really thought he was going to hit you in that phone.
We need God for this. No, I don't. Yes, I hit Jofu with the notebook, but I didn't intend on hurting him. I didn't hurt you, did I?
No.
Okay.
The notebook got hurt.
But, you know, to the simple-minded people in power that need authority, you need to be told to be good. Without this moral code and this belief in this supreme being, you will act out their worst nightmare. You will murder and kill and rape and pillage.
Well, because who allows you to make that decision to take another life?
Well, I'm moral. I don't do
Not
that.
everybody has morals.
But now, if
Oh,
you,
no. Mental illness is a whole other thing. If you can go and take somebody's life and do it with no problem and do it again and again, there is something wrong with your brain. Now, this happens to people.
Right, but now
people are born like that have no compassion, no empathy, psychotic.
right, but a lot of what
It has nothing to do with religion.
a lot of what religion sees when it comes to stuff like that, of people with psychoses and people with
The devil made
multiple
them do it.
personalities, or the devil made them do it. They're evil. They're Satanists.
It's just a reason to find an excuse for
They're
something.
also
Exactly.
believing in something. They're believing there's a Satan.
Well, if you believe in God, why wouldn't you believe there is a devil?
Or if that is their God. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the human need to believe in something.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a shitty person, so I blame the devil made me do it. Stop. It's silly. It's nonsense.
An excuse for getting away
Now,
with murder?
to have certain beliefs that, if you go back, a couple thousand years, we prayed for rain, we prayed for a good harvest, and I believe that there is some spirituality in me where I believe that if enough people show a concern or a care towards something, they can make it manifest into reality. And that's what I try to preach to you guys about what we do here. Where if you try hard enough and you believe hard enough, we can make this a reality. It's the same basic belief. We're good people and nobody's killing each other here.
Yet.
I don't know why that Ghostbusters 2 just came into mind when they're singing that song over the thing. You guys seen the movie, right? Where, like,
That was a really bad movie, by the way. Really bad. It is me, Vigo.
Vigo was awesome. Come on.
All right, so
Bro, when he's dressed in the dress with the baby in the carriage, come on, that was the worst movie ever, bro. That's almost
the
as
point
bad
I'm
as
trying to
Transylvania 65000.
When they're all singing that song and all the positivity defeated the evil.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what
you're
you're
trying
talking
to drive.
No, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Everybody coming together.
Absolutely. Yes.
basically
I do
creating
believe
all
that
positivity
if
out of
enough
that.
people put their efforts of belief and encouragement into something, they can manifest it into
That's
reality.
manifesting positivity.
Yes.
Right.
And
So
if
that-
you believe strong enough, you don't need people. You just need yourself. You know.
Right. So now you've heard, we dabbled in what I believe in.
Yeah.
We spoke at length on you and Christianity and the differences and all the.
I haven't even begun.
No, I know, but like, I
Well, go on,
want to
go
hear
ahead.
from
Sure,
Joe. I want to
of
hear
course.
Joe. What do you believe in?
I believe that there's one higher power. I really believe that there's something out there that's governing what people think and what people feel and what we're supposed to act and all that. I've never seen it manifest. I don't think I will see it manifest because it's a higher power. But like I said, we were taught from young children, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of evidence of that in my life, that yes, life isn't fair, blah, 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 and we make what we make out of this life, and, God gives us the power to think and believe on our own and do what you need to do. Like, this is what's right in life. You're not supposed to kill people. You should be a good person. You should blah, 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 blah. You should listen to your parents. Blah, blah. We make those decisions, but he gives us that power in
But yeah,
giving.
that's the God paradox.
Yeah.
If God is good, then why do people do bad things?
Because he created everything in an equal spectrum. If there's a very good, there's a very bad. And then there's an in-between.
Balance. There's balance.
There's balance to everything.
So that's the God and devil. There's the balance. There's God. There's the devil.
Is that the devil?
balance.
I don't know. I know there's evil out
Technically,
there.
the balance is supposed to be.
I don't know if I believe that there's an actual devil fighting against God, the ultra good person.
Well, supposedly God the devil is Lucifer, his son, his favorite son, that he cast out and down.
I mean, think about it. If everything is balanced out, then God,
Yeah.
and then they
And,
think God created everything, then God created the evil too, so that would balance out the good,
Well,
right?
it's a little fishy there, but
No, I mean, it makes
okay.
sense.
So if Lucifer is the devil, God's son, he cast him down, and then Lucifer is the one who creates the demons, right?
Okay.
Right. The book,
I'm going
right?
before there was a son. Before that, there was just God, right? If God had a son, then there was before the son existed. No? Family
God got
hierarchy?
bored and made angels. That's there's archangels and there's angels.
I'm saying
God got
at
bored
the
with a
point
bunch
when
of
there
things.
was just God and nobody else.
Well, no,
You're saying God had a son, so
but
there's a point in
here's
time
the thing.
he didn't have one.
Here's the thing, though. Well, his son is his angels. Here's the thing, though. So if there's balance to everything, then there had to be something before the angels Lucifer became a devil, or Satan, or whatever you want to call him. There had to be something to balance out with God. There had to be one side and the other. There had to be that balance.
Oh, that's why there's sun and bright, and then there's darkness, nighttime. That's why we have awake time, we have sleep time to recover.
And
Everything
it's not
has
just
balance.
it's not just processes that tend to favor life. It's not just processes. It's a person doing it, a being doing it.
Something had to decide we are the way we are. No? The programmed DNA. Why we need to sleep 8 hours a night and stay awake 16 and 24 hours a day. Like
sleep
You
that
guys
long?
sleep that long?
Just saying. That's but there's a recovery time. You can't
Yeah,
be awake
your body
forever.
needs to,
Why
yes.
can't we?
Yeah.
Right? Somebody had to make that decision. And that's where
Somebody had
Catholicism,
to. It's just
somebody programmed that DNA, and that's Catholics believe that God
okay.
determined that.
So they just found proof recently in a cave in South Africa of a hominid species of humans, Homo naledi, and they found them in a cave. Where the cave, you go in, and then you travel, and then you have to go up, and then you have to come back down, go along. And I believe there's another up or down, and then they bury their dead. And their brains are about this big, where our brains are about this big.
Yeah.
They were only about this high, this tall, and they were loosely related to us because all hominids are.
Right.
They found proof that they were burying their dead. You don't bury your dead in a select place where
deep
you
in the
carry
cave?
them. You got to carry them up with. Okay, they had to have fire because you can't see in the cave.
Right.
So you had to have fire. So not only did they discover that fire is 400,000 years old,
Right.
because this is 350,000 years ago, this hominid before, just around when we were starting to appear, because the dates always change. 200,000. Now we're approaching 300,000 for ourselves. We're gonna find out we're around a little bit longer before that too as well. They actually carry them, they're dead, into caves, up, climb back down, over traversing, and they didn't live right outside the cave. So they traveled the distance to get to the cave and actually bury them in soil.
Okay, so now
Then there's markings too. There's also markings.
They went through all that because they discovered that dead bodies stink.
Then why not just bury them anywhere?
Maybe they didn't know how to bury them properly, not in the cave.
Listen, there's a good line of thought that people buried the dead because animals would
Eat the dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Safety from animals.
But you have to have some cognizant reasoning in your brain to care about that dead body.
We put everything in a cemetery. Maybe that was the place they chose to make their cemetery.
But they weren't human. They were apish, monkeyish, 3 feet tall.
Between them and us.
So they had a sense of spirituality to a certain degree.
Well, who's to say that apes today don't have spirituality? We just don't understand it on that level.
You know what an ape will do? You know what a chimp will do to you if you piss it off? They'll gouge your eyes, rip your nose off, and pull your fucking dick off.
Because?
That's what a chimp does when it's mad at you.
Yeah.
By the way, rip your ears off, anything protruding, and then it knows. It knows, and it will go for your genitalia too.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happens when they get pissed off. But anyway, listen, we see them working with tools. They get, the anthill and the termite hills. They'll take the branch, stick it in.
Yep.
We see a little bit of that.
Right.
We actually see birds doing that too, and other types of animals using sticks and stuff like that. But this was a human relative, but it wasn't human. So they had some sense of spirituality because there were actually markings too. They found markings. And these people went through a lot of trouble to bury their dead somewhere.
Wow. Meanwhile, he's talking about going in, up, and then down again, and then they go up and down again. I was thinking he was going to say, here is the stage where you're set up now.
All right, and now this that you're talking about after researching it a little bit was from the mid-Pleistocene era, which is 335,000 years ago.
I just said that. Yeah. I said 350. Close enough, right?
And all of the findings show mid-Stone Age technology. So they were building tools. Their hands were similar to ours.
Yeah.
And the way
Opposable
that they
thumbs.
moved with opposable thumbs and then pinkies. And
That's what makes, us the primates, opposable thumbs. Deer have hooves, horses, lions, tigers.
And bears online.
Raccoons have factual fingers, by the way. You know that? You ever seen a raccoon? They actually have digits.
Put that kind of thought.
But they don't have the opposable thumbs that do this.
It's just this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can't hit the space bar, they just hit the letter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But they got the long nose. So, that's what makes, primates unique with the opposable thumbs.
Right.
Basically, there's probably more to it than that. A chimp's feet, they got their big toe can do things ours can't.
Right. They can play more video games.
Yeah.
They basically have hands for feet.
Yeah, and their strength is ridiculous. So anyway, I'm not trying to poo-poo religion or anything. People, relatives of ours actually believed in some type of spiritual being, evidently. Otherwise, why do you go through all that trouble to bury your dead? To revere the dead.
I mean, you
to
make
keep
a
it
compelling
safe.
point. That sounds like a lot of trouble to go through. But you're saying, maybe it was pre-programmed in their DNA to know that they had to do that.
I mean, there's a chance that, listen, we don't know every instance of how long the Neanderthals.
Right.
And we say that they were around for 500,000 years.
And then why did they stop doing that?
Wait. Let me finish my thoughts, though. Because they go extinct. That's why. They're not here today.
Okay.
That's why they stopped. They're dead.
Did they
you
evolve
understand
into
that?
us?
No.
No.
Clearly not.
There are
We are our own species in a subspecies of many species. So as of right now, tentatively, I'm going to put the guesstimate between there is 27 to 33 specific relatives of the human tree.
Okay.
And some of them were ape-like, chimp-like.
Okay.
Some of them were Bigfoots, 7, 8 feet tall, Bigfoot, covered in hair, up to less than 100,000 years ago, alive when we were alive. And some people even suggest that there's small pockets of them still alive today, and that's where we're getting the Bigfoot stuff from.
Carl,
No,
is
not
that
even
you?
joking. Not even a joke, bro. Totally serious. Totally serious. And that's why they think we have Bigfoot sightings.
But we haven't had an actual proof
No,
that there is a
no.
Bigfoot or any kind of being of that.
Yeah, no.
With all this technology and people, everyone's got a friggin' camera in their pocket nowadays.
Yep.
No one's got an actual photo or
And there's no body.
experience.
There's no body.
Right.
That's the king. You find one dead, it's all over. We can prove it.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, but the whole story is
So they're all in that cave, is what you're saying.
no. This is a totally different species. Totally
No
different
one thinks
species.
to look in the cave, right?
Totally different species. So, but yeah, it was in that show. It was 7, 8 feet tall. Just
Yeah.
looks like a
Yeah.
Bigfoot, and it was alive up to roughly 100,000 years ago. And they have the teeth. They find the teeth in China. They've never really found a full skeleton of these either. But they find the teeth, and it's clearly a different species of human.
How do they know about the burial site then?
No. That's a different species.
Yeah, okay.
That's a 3-foot species.
Okay.
The lady.
Gotcha.
Homo the lady.
And they found these bodies.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in the ground. Yes.
So now, isn't China the country that just had the whole weirdness with one of their zoos that people
Yes, the
thought
bear.
that the bear
Yes.
was
Human.
a human in a costume?
Yes.
So now, what if some of these sightings or these
There's no
is there
sightings.
is there any correlation? Is there any correlation to Bigfoot with these specific bears? Then
Okay, so the bear, if you look at the videos of the bear,
I looked.
it's not a big bear.
No, but it definitely
It's
looks
got
like a
the
person
huge,
in
it's got
a
the huge
suit.
snout. What happens is that when the bear stands up, its fur laps
Right.
into what looks like saggy pants.
Right.
In its back area.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the only. And the bear can wave. A lot of bears do wave. We have video of different species all doing the wave.
Yeah, like
so the
Yogi Bear
bear's
and
there
Boo Boo.
standing up on its back legs,
Yeah.
waving, and people filming it,
Yeah.
and people are behind filming it, and it looks like it's got saggy pants on, like its suit is sinking,
So it could be-
drooping.
In other words, trying to say that it's fake.
Yes,
Yes,
and
but-
it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
Right, but what I'm saying
I
is,
wouldn't put it past people to
could-
have a fake bear in
could
a zoo,
there-
but
could-
this instance is not fake.
but could there possibly be a correlation between
No.
the idea of Bigfoot and bears at that
Oh,
point?
of course. Most people probably see bears.
Right.
I think it's a Bigfoot. I'm sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. But there's some people that, you can't. Look in every instance of any type of paranormal activity, UFOs, Bigfoot, ghost, people see things that they're mistaking, and it's all the time. But there's when you get 500 stories and you find maybe there's 5 that don't really line up with them mistaking what they've seen or heard or recorded. In every one of these fields with UFOs, the same thing. Okay, you could dismiss half of them right off the bat with, just some other object that they're seeing that they think they're seeing something else. It's with everything. But back to that. So this relative of ours evidently had some type of spiritual beliefs. So, we're always pushing things back. We thought we were the first humans. We actually found buried Neanderthals, buried with shells and stuff like that. So I think some of that credit was given to them as to being the first to do burials and stuff like that. But no, these are definitely older. I mean, the Neanderthals. So at one period in time, there was like 5 different types of the human, subspecies walking around together. We were a part of that. At least 5, maybe more. We know of between 27 and 32 because I'm taking that guess because we're in that range.
Yeah.
We're somewhere. If you actually Google this, we're somewhere in that range of 27 to 32 actual relatives of ours that we knew came before or during the same time as us or somewhere around there. And they're all extinct except for us. There may be 60 because we just haven't found the bones yet.
Right.
The Gigantopithecus is the relative that look like Bigfoot, 7, 8 feet tall. We only have teeth of them. But it's a tooth that's the size of like 3 of yours. So whatever the skull was this big, the teeth, here's the teeth. You know, it's a humanoid tooth. Well, if the tooth is this big, the skull's got to be this big.
Right.
Body mass, you know, and they go up from there. I think they found maybe other bones of it, but not many. Mostly teeth. They walked into a Chinese herbal store. You know, where you could go into China and you could go into stores, you could buy the rhino horn. And it's good for the yang. You know, and it's good for phlegm. It's good, you know, they tell you all these lies. And one day they went in and they found this weird bone, tooth. And more study. A guy would do this. He knew to go to these shops. When they found stuff they didn't know, they put a price tag on it and sold it. Yeah. And this one archaeologist knew that if he went into these places, he would find cool stuff. Huh. And he found a tooth, and then they found one a few years later in another store. People out there digging, putting it in packages, charging money for it. And that's how we found that species.
So now you're right. The current theory is that there was about 25 all at the same time. The current scientific...
In total,
right?
not at the same time.
The current scientific record for how many species
in our tree
of our tree that lived together is about 8.
Yeah.
All at one time.
And there's like 25 total. 8 lived at once together, and we're one of those 8. So we were alive while all these ape-like things were all over. Some big apes, some little apes, monkey-like, you know, all these kind of crazy things, man. We're all alive while we were.
That's the whole thing with evolution. We're all kind of related from way back in the beginning of time, right? They just continued down that line.
It's a little weird, though. It's a little weird when you say, okay, so you're talking evolution is not, you're not talking,
I'm saying
it's
go
not
back.
really a good
You're
reference.
saying that they were kind of related to us in a way.
Yeah, but alive at the same time.
Well,
that's not evolution. Evolution is one specific lineage. That's what evolution is.
Trace those guys and us
when you evolve, you evolve over one.
You're going spiritual, right?
No,
I'm
talking scientific.
But you were saying that there was proof that they were kind of spiritual by burying their dead in a specific place.
No, it looks like they were.
That's
like
all
that is.
We're guessing that.
Yes.
Right.
Because they buried their dead. So it may have been a sign of spirituality. That they revered the dead after they were
But who's
gone.
to say that even like cats aren't spiritual? Like, we don't understand that.
Dude, you left a fucking mouse in your shoe. It's not spirituality. Trust me. Okay?
No. But
it's in their DNA.
The sheer fact that we don't, there are creatures and animals and things that we don't speak their language. That doesn't mean that they don't have their own philosophies and stuff like that.
Well, you need a brain.
They do have brains.
Right. You need a brain that has capable of rational thought.
He's saying intelligent brain.
Yeah.
Now hold on. Now you're saying brains capable of rational thought.
Yeah.
Animals definitely have brains that have rational thought. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. They make decisions.
So when the deer runs into the road, sees your headlights, and stands there,
it doesn't know what to do.
It's shocked.
All right.
So but deer in headlights.
What about
the intelligent thing would say, he should run out of the way, he's gonna get hit. But they're only evolved to a certain point. Right. You're saying intelligent
it's not cognitive intelligence. It's not I'm gonna die if I stand here.
But what about dolphins?
They're intelligent.
They're extremely intelligent.
Yeah. So okay.
Thinking
crows and ravens.
Yeah.
Extremely intelligent. Tiny brains.
But we posed the question: do they believe in God?
You don't think
spiritual God?
Let's take this to another level.
Crows have been crows have been known to mourn over dead crows.
So now, but the thing is, like I was saying, we don't
There's
have a
few
way of
animals that do that.
communicating.
I've seen
with them.
squirrels do that
So we don't
too.
understand it.
We
I've
don't
seen-
understand them. So
I've
they-
seen squirrels bug the fuck out
Right,
of another dead
but there's
squirrel.
no saying that something like a crow or crows in general don't have some kind of spirituality
Right.
But they're not burying their dead. They're just,
because they don't have the ability to.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't, like, thinking about it in a different level, you don't think that my 4 cats may think that I'm their God?
Joe, you have way too many cats. Please give it up and get help.
Just saying. Think about it on their level, you know?
He's a
It's
crazy
just
cat lady.
A belief. Right?
Joe, tell us about your experience going over the falls in the barrel.
It was very wet. But yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Listen, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
to them, I'm
but
their God.
Do you know we're at the point now where we can put electrodes on our brain and actually get pictures? You know we can do that now, right? Right? You know this? Well, we know what happens when you do it to an animal? Nothing.
What happens?
Nothing.
Because we're working on technology that deals with the way that our brains
Now,
process
hang on.
things.
Maybe we
we're not
have-
dealing with it. We're not making technology specifically
I can
to
think
understand.
of that picture and it comes on the
Right,
screen.
but
I
there's
can
we're
play a
making-
piano with just my mind.
But we're making technology that coincides with the way that our brains work.
Okay.
We
So,
don't
do you
fully
know at one-
understand how
you do
another
understand
creature's
that-
brain works.
That on our planet, every animal to a certain extent contains the same DNA.
Yeah.
That we can trace this whole species and subspecies all the way back to like 3 points where they evolved out of another lineage of creatures that don't longer exist. Now, mammals, you have the lizards, the amphibians, and they all have similar brains. We have 5 digits on each hand and foot because an animal 50, 90, 300 million years ago had it. And that's where we got it from.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have it. Our front-facing eyes. Many animals, we have this because we're predators. If you're not a predator, where are your eyes? Your eyes are over here. And that's everything. If you're a predator, you're prey. That's it. You have insects with 8 eyes and all that shit, but everything evolves a certain way in a certain pattern. You get some anomalies, like there are more crabs now, but these creatures aren't crabs. But for some reason, evolution likes the crab shape. Look it up.
Okay.
Okay, we have real crabs and we have fake crabs. Fake crabs are because evolution likes the way the crab shape, and it's weird. But the crab shape may be the future for a lot of different animals we see right now. It doesn't have to be water animals either, because the coconut crab, it's this big. It's on land. It's not in the water. Crabs don't have to be in water, but it's not really a crab. It's just called a crab. It favors a certain type of, shape and way. I don't know. It's weird. But a lot of creatures are turning into crabs that weren't crabs. Even lobsters and stuff like that, they're turning into crabs.
Right, so what you're talking about is convergent evolution.
Yeah.
I want to take it back for a second because you went on this crab tangent.
No.
But-
No tangent.
Uh,
No education.
Education, great.
Did you know that before I said that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
You were saying before about the picture and the brain and all that.
Yeah.
We have way more evolved brains.
Sure.
Right.
Of
And-
course.
Electricity runs through all of us.
But
Right?
But wait. Yes.
The
but you have,
animals don't have the same amount of electricity running through them that we
and
do.
you know a
as
lot
an
of these
evolved
animals.
species.
A lot of these animals have been around longer to evolve longer than us. But they're not. Some species of animals, sharks were. There have been sharks in the ocean before there were trees on our fucking planet.
I'm sure.
Now, we had ferns, but we didn't have trees like we have today. 400 million years ago. There were sharks, but there were no trees. Wood, trees, limbs.
Water is the building block of life.
Yes,
that
we all
know
come
of.
from water. We know this. But the point is that these creatures had all this time to evolve. And they don't evolve, we're 300,000 years of us. Okay, so you want to take humans? 10 million, okay, of our species and subgenres and everything else, that was related to us. It's probably about 10 million years. Sharks have been doing it for 400. Alligators, 200 million years. An alligator hasn't changed much in 200 million fucking years.
Because it didn't need to.
But why did evolution favor us? Now, he'd go back to your God theory.
We stood up.
Are we favored? Okay, so the book tells you Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel. Cain killed Abel.
Well, if you believe the book, then
Yeah.
humans just popped in there, like,
Yeah,
boom, there they were.
Garden of Eden, snake.
Right.
They had kids all of a sudden.
Right.
Steak?
Rib.
Steak? Ribs?
Nice.
Dinner?
I said snake.
And the apple tasted like chicken.
Yes. Oh, the apple was a, it wasn't an apple. It was,
Pomegranate.
no, it was a,
If it was a pomegranate, you probably would have spit it out.
no, it wasn't a pomegranate.
What the hell's wrong with you? Pomegranate's great.
You can look it up, but it wasn't a
It's bitter?
pomegranate. It was something with a P, but not a pomegranate. Promise you that.
So what you're saying is he drank her pee
So
first?
why have animals evolved longer, hundreds of million years longer than we've been around, but yet lack the capability of rational thought, cognitive understanding of life itself? And we go by the theory, okay, I am, therefore I am.
Well, maybe
Therefore we are.
God wanted it that way. He only wanted a certain amount of intelligent species, and the rest is there to make the circle of life.
Oh, well, that would make sense. The concept of the forbidden fruit. What are some constants in the creation mythos in Christianity? Fig leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the theory is actually that the apple was actually a fig.
That makes sense.
That's why I
Yeah.
said it makes total sense.
From frig to fig.
So if you look at it's complex. It's the one or the other, and then you can't do one or the other.
So why can't you say that's the way God wanted it to be? What if everything was intelligent? Could you imagine if an alligator was able to jump out and be like, I'm gonna eat you now? Like, there's a reason why only humans are that intelligent. Bitch, I'm gonna bite your face off! Ah! I mean, it's funny to think of. It's like everything, we see it now with AI. We're able to see birds talking and running down the street and going, oh my God, something's chasing me. I have to poop now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shit on you. Like, there's a reason. And everyone wants to believe maybe it's God that determined that we're the ones that can think and speak and talk intelligently.
God, it all comes back to Jofu and bathrooms.
Right? Always.
Because I'm sitting here stirring to go and we're still talking. It's been an hour.
Well,
What do
yeah,
you
I
think?
mean, we could talk about this, at length.
Until Rice is
Yeah.
blue in the face, but if
No,
he's
man.
blue in the face,
I
we're
can
going to have
talk.
to resuscitate him.
I could go
Maybe
for
that's what God wanted.
I could go for another 2 hours.
God
on
wants
this
me to
subject.
kill Rice?
No, he wants him to be blue in the face.
But yeah, listen, it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum. But, until we actually have proof, it's just believing in fairy tales, fantasies.
If there is a God out there, do you think he wants us to know that I'm actually here?
Why wouldn't he?
I don't know. He wants to keep it mysterious,
But
maybe.
you are actually here.
You are.
I am here.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if there's a God, and I believe there's a God, do they want us to know every little detail about themselves?
I don't have to know every
So-
detail.
What I'm going to say is that the way that you guys describe your beliefs, you were talking about there's two sides of everything. Joe's talking about the higher being and everything. You guys are more talking along the lines, at least Rice is, along the lines of Hermeticism and the principles of Hermeticism. That it triggered with you though, Joe, because the Hermeticism is a lot of its principles deal with polarity. So there's with every plus there's a minus, with every push there's a pull, with every north there's a south, east a west.
Well, the
with
whole universe
with
operates
all
on that
good,
principle.
there's bad.
There's
exactly.
hot and there's cold.
Correct.
The sun is very hot. Away from the sun is very cold.
Right, and that runs along the ideals of Hermeticism, which definitely came before Christianity. It's just
magnetism. There's push and pull. That's why things move around.
Right,
There's no air to push it.
That's
Right?
that's polarity.
There's no way to push it. What do you mean?
Just saying, things in motion will stay in motion until acted upon, right? We've discovered this.
Sure.
If something's
Yeah.
moving, but what made it move?
Gravity.
Anything. There's no...
Oh, we don't know what causes, we know mass causes gravitational, waves, but we don't know what dark matter is. There's a lot to the universe. We have no fucking clue.
No,
So,
it's way deeper than we can even talk on this podcast.
yeah.
Right.
way
Well,
deeper.
maybe we should do a podcast on dark matter. In the darkness
I
of
could bullshit my way through it.
Can you make a logo that says dark matter?
Dark Odyssey, not matter.
We do matter.
No, we do matter. What the hell, Joe? I thought you wanted this to become something.
We are, don't worry. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of God. And thank you for joining us.
Wait, did you just change the name of the podcast from The Journey to God?
Yes.
Because he wanted it that way.
What were we talking about, guys?
Wow.
But yeah, stay tuned. We'll come back with some more good stuff. We're going to do a couple more tonight. And
Tonight?
yeah.
Oh,
Well, you
God.
won't get them all in one day. You'll get them.
What
6
happened
months
to
from
you
now,
sleeping for
probably.
14 hours a night? Oh, no, sorry, that was
That
you.
was Jim.
I didn't say 14, I said 8.
He did say 8.
Rewind the tape. I just dated myself.
Yes. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Check it out. We're coming out with some good stuff soon. And keep watching, subscribe, like. Help us out. We really need it. Thank you.
Awesome. Should I hit stop on the cassette now?
Sure. That's just it. That's just putting a question. Yeah, I keep seeing something too, by the way. I keep seeing something.
You do?
Not going to lie. Yeah, it was over here before.
I was just making a joke. I'm trying to catch the ghost in the sky.
Yeah, no, I
But
keep seeing things move by past. Anyway,
that's important.
I don't want to lose track. I don't want to lose track of thought.
We're paranormal investigators. That's kind of important.
When you pulled out the camera, I thought you were seeing something too.
No. No, I was trying to make a
Well,
joke.
put the camera away.
It's over there.
Well, if you're a paranormal investigator, then open the camera up and keep it steady. Keep it near you.
I got to focus. We're filming.
Anyway, so then why did you even say anything about it? So,
God damn it.
That's why he was giving you the finger.
yes. So,
I pray for him.
I don't. Listen. I have never wanted to smack anyone more in my life than I wanted to smack you, Jeff.
What?
I wanted to smack you more than him.
that's rare. That's rare. What do you do?
No, it's just. I just go nuts. And I always hold back when it comes to the whole concept of God and people who believe in God for the sheer fact that, okay, yes,
You know we're trying to make good TV here, right? Why are you holding back anything?
No. Because I don't want to punch you through a microphone.
You don't have to punch me, but you can get rambunctious and loud.
Because that's where I go at this point.
This is why you have guides. They're there to stop you from punching me. Right?
Don't be so selfish. I thought God taught you better.